You know, I was really drawn to the military because I liked the idea of self-sacrifice. But one of the things that I like particularly about the fire service is that, you know, in the military, you're trained to kill. And in fire, you're specifically trained to save. It's shaped my entire college experience since my freshman year. I'm a business management major. I'm also working for Penn State University Ambulance Service. And outside of that, I'm a firefighter at Alpha Fire Company. You don't even think things happen in State College. I mean, before I started doing this, I really didn't understand what's the fire service doing around here. There's no fires, there's no car accidents, people don't die, because like, you don't hear about that stuff. You would think that if it happened, it'd be crazy news, you would know about it. Oh, there was a fire near here? Oh my gosh, like you would think everyone's talking about that. Apparently not. And so the first call I got was a fatal wreck. It was a fatal car accident. It was like, boom, right off the bat, welcome to the fire service. Membership is definitely something that all companies really fight for, especially volunteer companies. Paid companies, they control that, and there's people fighting for those jobs because they have incomes and stuff and pensions that go along with that. With a volunteer staff, it's harder because it's like, you know, you're not offering them anything. You're not offering them a pension. All you're offering them is the job. For a lot of us, our ambitions are to eventually become a paid fireman, not because we want to do it for the money, but because we love it so much, we want to do this as our living. And it is like a fraternity. I mean, we're called Alpha, and we play with that all the time. Like, you know, Alpha, it feels like a fraternity. It feels like, we do feel like brothers. Alpha Fire Company is very well funded. We never have a problem rolling trucks out the door. If there's a fire, if there's something happening, we're going to be there. But that's not necessarily the case for some of these other townships. Some of these other townships struggle very hard to get the money that they need, to have the right equipment, to have, make sure their stuff's not breaking down. And because they're focusing so much on fundraising, it's hard for them to be able to focus on recruiting at the same time. And their numbers have been dropping, and they've been struggling to kind of keep their head above water. And so that can happen. You know, if you have a volunteer crew, the county or the city or whoever it is like, you know, we don't want to pay for a fire. It's like, well, then you can't necessarily guarantee that someone's going to be there. And that's really unfortunate. Luckily, that's not the case here. Certain places where the membership is hurting and a fire happens and no one responds, at Alpha Fire Company, the idea of that is absolutely unacceptable. There should never be a fire and someone call for help because their house is burning or someone's in trouble and there's no one around to respond. So we do have to have minimum requirements. We do have to tell people, hey, there's a time commitment here because when you sign up to do this, yes, we're glad that you're here. We thank you for your service, but we also need you to take it as seriously as you can because this is not something to be taken lightly. Here in State College, do I see that being a thing where we can sustain this continually? Absolutely. Because again, just of our dynamic that we have with the students, with the amount of people that keep cycling through, we just have so many people that are really willing to do this. In certain parts of the state, I'm not sure about the future of the fire service in those places when it comes to the places that are struggling.